It is raining in many parts of the country. If you're working from home or you're homebound today, count your blessings, count yourself among those who are lucky, because Mother Nature is continuing to be unforgiving, giving us some very unpleasant rainy weather. Now, heavy rains as well as strong winds and even snow in some parts of the country. Let's touch base once again with our eNCA senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane. She has been out in Heidelberg in the Free State, or rather in Harrismith in the Free State today. Sili, where exactly are you now? Where do we find you? Looks like the conditions are as they were when we spoke earlier on, very wet.
Certainly so. It's a very, very wet day here in the Free State. We find ourselves now in Montrose, just in between the Van Riemen's Pass as well as Harrismith. It's a very popular stop for motorists who are making their way in between KwaZulu-Natal as well as Gauteng. And of course, we do know that since this weekend, Saturday in fact, we've seen temperatures plummeting in various parts of the country. And in fact, just yesterday in this particular area, from about Warden just up until the Van Riemen's Pass, we were seeing and hearing of reports of snowfall, many videos making the rounds on social media. It seems overnight, however, that snow has managed to melt, but this morning we are sitting at around 4 degrees in this particular area. It is quite cold, it is quite windy, and what we are seeing is that the N3 toll concession, we are seeing quite a free flow of traffic. However, there were, of course, warnings from officials from the N3 toll concession that motorists need to be careful on the roads because we are still experiencing some wet weather, meaning that the roads are still slippery. But at the moment, I can, of course, tell you that most of the snowfall is now located more on the mountaintops. Perhaps for now, really, what we are seeing here is more overcast conditions. There's a lot of fog, but you can see that at this point, no snowfall that's been reported for this particular area. A bit later on, we will be making our way into Harrismith, where much of that snowfall was actually reported, and we will be trying to speak to local businesses around how they're trying to manage the wet weather. At this stage, though, the latest update from the South African Weather Services is that we are at a yellow level 2 warning, meaning that South Africans can expect severe thunderstorms with possible hail, as well as heavy downpours, as well as strong winds, leading to localized flooding of susceptible roads, low-lying areas and bridges over the extreme eastern parts of the northwest, as well as Gauteng. We also are perhaps going to experience some disruptive rain, which could lead to localized flooding of roads and bridges, as well as settlements in areas and places such as Mpumalanga. So that is the latest update from the South African Weather Services this morning. And of course, we will be monitoring the situation throughout the day just to see whether we do see any flooding in areas here in the Free State.
Thank you very much, Silindelo. That's eNCA senior reporter Silindelo Masikane. She's out in the Free State.